What's up, folks? Today I'm going to talk about what I learned from being homeless. If you didn't know, a few years ago I was on the streets, sleeping in the cold and the danger. But not in the US. No, I was in Colombia. If you've watched my videos, you would know that I dropped out of college in 2017 at the age of 25. And I decided to travel the world. My decision process was I was not enjoying computer science. I wanted to do something I enjoyed. I wanted to travel the world while I was young and get experience. And I wanted to go all into making content, to making videos and podcasts and blogs and inspiring people to live lives that they love and build lives that they love on a custom basis, not just blindly follow what other people want for them. So I did that. I went to Colombia, and what I haven't talked about too much was before I went to Colombia, my parents were providing me with my finances. Like a lot of well-off families, I had their support while I was going to college. My father, I wouldn't say he was super well-off, but he had access to my grandfather's funds, and my grandfather wanted to help me. So he would pay my rent, he would pay for my food, he would essentially pay all my bills. Not even essentially, he'd just pay all my bills. But when I decided to drop out of college, he decided to stop supporting me because the support was to get me through college. And now that I wasn't getting a degree, he didn't want to support me. Understandably, I understand that. It was a decision that I would make if I were in the same position. Though if I had kids, I probably wouldn't make them go to college. I would give them more options. But I understand where he was coming from. Now, I hadn't been responsible for my own bills up to that point. You could say I was a trust fund kid, and you would be pretty accurate. I was a little bit spoiled. Didn't have a sense of responsibility for money, didn't have a sense of understanding of what money's worth, or what it takes to get money. Because it was always given to me when I was a kid. To the point where when I was like 13 or 14, I had a paper route, and one morning I just didn't want to do it, and my dad was like, well, what are you doing? Like, why aren't you going to get the papers? And I said, I don't want to. And he's like, okay, well, I'll do it. So he took my papers and did the route, which was a little bit of the mentality in my family. And it hurt my ability to take responsibility for myself. When you do something for other people that they can do for themselves, you're taking away their agency. And that's something I didn't have. I didn't have a sense of responsibility for my finances. So I went off to Colombia without any way of making money. I decided I was going to do some graphic design online. I did my best to do graphic design services on Fiverr, and I sold some of them, logos and such, and but it wasn't enough. It was not enough to pay my bills. It was not enough to pay my hostel stay and for food, and I got closer and closer to homelessness. At one point, I was trading my services for a stay at hostels because I was completely broke, flat broke, $0. I was trading my graphic design services for stay in hostels, and a hostel owner took advantage of me, physically attacked me, and I almost got put into a Colombian jail. That was a scary experience. He tried to manipulate my vulnerability, because I was looking to him for stay. He tried to manipulate that, and when I called him out on it, he threatened to throw me in jail because he, according to him, allegedly pays off the police officers in that area, in that barrio, in that neighborhood, and he didn't want me in there. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, maybe he did, and the fact that I was American scared him, because it carries a lot of weight overseas. America wouldn't have stepped in, though, because it was local laws. They might have, I don't know. So maybe that was it, or maybe he was just lying and trying to scare me, but in the end it didn't happen, thankfully. But very quickly, I ran out of money, and I was left on the street for 2 nights in Medellin, Colombia. And that was scary as fuck. I almost got swindled out of my laptop and my phone by another homeless guy that was from California. Really, really easy to talk to, but in the end, it was pretty clear that he was trying to take advantage of me and the fact that I was so vulnerable. And I also had to pawn my Galaxy S8, which was the newest phone at the time. I had to pawn that, get pennies for it, and use my backup phone. Thankfully, I had a backup phone. But I had to pawn that. It was a crazy situation. And there are a few things I learned from it. Number one is that we adapt very quickly to new situations. It's always scary before it happens, when there's something on the horizon that you see a change in your life that isn't good, like eviction, like your car being repossessed. And it's not good, and it's something that should be avoided. But if you can't avoid it, it's good to know that I have the ability to adapt to new situations. When it came that I didn't have a place to stay for those 2 nights, very quickly, it was instant that I was like, okay, well, this is my new life. I'm going to have to deal with this. I'm going to do everything I can to find a place, and I'm going to do everything I can to stay safe and stay warm. What can I do here? And I discovered that I could go to the bus terminal, sleep there. The police wouldn't bother you. And I tried to hole up with this other guy who seemed to be nice, from California, that was also homeless, but turns out he tried to swindle me out of my stuff. But I tried, at least. And it was a quick adaptation to be like, okay, this is reality now. I can't argue with it. I can't say this isn't happening. This is what's happening. How do I deal with it now? And that's something that I've found that is a quality that I have, and that I would argue everyone has, is when shit hits the fan, and you get yourself back up on your feet. It's easier than it looks. Another thing I've learned is having a clear rock bottom is super useful for motivation. What I mean by this is having a memory of what happens when shit goes down and how badly you do not want to go back there, because I do not want to go back there. It was not fun those 2 nights. I was very scared. I was very afraid. I was very cold. I did not get good sleep at all. It was not it's a memory that is not a pleasant memory. Yeah, sure, if I create an autobiography at some point, it'll be an important story in there, and it's an exciting story to remember after the fact, especially almost getting swindled out of my laptop and almost getting attacked by that guy that I was staying with. But it's having such a clear memory of this is what happens if I don't take responsibility for my finances and my bills. This is what happens. Having such a clear memory, a clear negative memory, helps motivate me to take responsibility. And the third thing I learned is to take fucking responsibility for my finances. I'm not sure how common it is for trust fund kids to drop out of college. I imagine it is pretty common. And I imagine it's also pretty common for parents to stop supporting them when they do. It's depending on the parents and the family, it's possible that parents try to wean the kid off. I would have liked my parents, and my dad in particular, to teach me responsibility rather than to give me all the money I needed until I graduated and then got a job. And then the job would be paying my bills. I would have rather learned responsibility on my own beforehand. At least been maybe taking care of like one particular, maybe like my cell phone bill when I was a teenager, and then maybe When I left home, maybe the car payments and gas, or maybe like slowly add up all my responsibility until I was on my own. But it was almost like, hey, we're going to pay everything, and then all of a sudden we're going to pay nothing, and then now I don't know what to do. So I'm not saying it's my parents' fault. I'm saying that was a contributing factor to my not knowing how to take responsibility. But now it's my responsibility for my finances, and it's so clear for me after this experience where it's like, okay, nobody was there to catch me. At this point, I have friends that would loan me money, and I have ways to get money if I absolutely need it. But I don't want to rack up debt. It's important to me to understand that and to see that through this clear rock bottom. That yes, I can adapt to this new situation if I ever not able to pay rent and I'm evicted. I can adapt to it, but it's not a situation I ever want, and it's my responsibility to pay my rent, pay my bills, and to stay out of debt. So these are 3 things I learned from being homeless. I hope you enjoyed this story. I am at the moment doing 40 to 50 plus hours of Uber every single week so that I can pay the bills and pay off my debts and get even further out of debt into a financially free life. And while I wait for Passion Unchained to be to supply my life with money that I need to love life and all that jazz. But I would love for Passion Unchained to be the sole supplier of money to my life. And that means that if you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. I will be able to spend a lot more time on this channel the more subscribers I have, because that will be easier for me to find sponsors, etc. And then I also encourage you, if you like the quality of this audio and you want to be a content creator yourself, I have all my equipment in the Amazon affiliate links in the description below. And those Amazon affiliate links will link to products like the camera, like my lens and my lens mount, like the recorder I'm using right now, and the lavalier microphone. And if you buy from those links, I get a cut at no extra cost to you, which helps me a lot. It helps me immensely. You have no idea. So if you're curious about becoming a content creator and want to buy any of those things, if you think any of those things would be helpful, then go ahead and click those links and check those products out. I hope you're enjoying yourself, and have a great day.